We are live. Supposedly we're live. I know there's a slight delay, guys. There's a slight delay. So how are you all today?
Doing good.
Doing okay. Ooh, ooh. So guys, welcome to episode number 102 of the Friday Fraud 100, 102. Can you believe it?
It
I
goes by
can't believe I did it.
fast.
Consistency, Robert. You're amazing.
Well, it's not me, but it is something consistency, right?
Hmm.
I think I had a small hand in it. Okay, but wait a minute though. Joe and Kelly, you guys look really different today. Who who are you all?
You guys have seen me before, duh. Never mind. Galina Gidri. I have a small boutique consultancy firm called ICF Consulting, and we offer outsourced internal audit services, risk management, and also business consultations for small and medium-sized businesses. And for some reason, Robert likes me, and on occasion, he invites me to co-host his podcast. So just bear with me and bear with us for the next 30 minutes, and we promise you, you're going to leave in really with really good information.
You know, I like anybody that can make me look good because it's a hard job. So, Christine, tell everybody who are you?
I'm Christine Murray. I'm an internal audit manager. Have been in the financial industry for over 20 years, and normally I just sit in the peanut gallery and watch your Friday Fraudster podcasts and give you my 2 cents, even when you only ask for a penny for my thoughts. So
So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, we were talking backstage and I said, "So, you've never done a podcast or anything?" And she said, "Nope." And I said, "What in the world made you trust me about people?" So,
because I can just sit and nod if I agree.
okay. So Galena, Christine, let me ask you all a question. Have you ever been scrolling on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you see these advertisements that kind of say, "We can double and triple your money for a small investment"? You ever seen one of those?
Yes.
What do you think
All the
about it?
time.
I try not to pay attention to ads, but I also feel like the companies that I've worked for have really good on their like phishing testing and emails. So anytime I see or get anything, I'm like, nope, it's not real. So I don't trust anything that I don't go for myself. So anything that's solicited, I just leave it.
So what about you, Galena? What do you think about those ads?
Oh, they're so I definitely there's a bunch of them, right? But it also seems like, or at least it feels like there are more of them when you go to other websites, right? So, for example, what I mean by that is like when you go on Facebook and a social media, right, you're going to start seeing certain ads. But then when you go to MSN.com or, like I'm from Russia originally, right? So I do sometimes go and look at the news, Russian websites, right? And they're just prevalent. So it depends on where you are, right? And I mean, the IP address, of course, it takes them back to the United States, but it really varies which part of the world you're looking at and searching. So I feel like they are a lot more prevalent overseas, but then of course, you know, same here.
So if you saw one of those ads, you probably wouldn't even click on it. But let's just assume that you did. Let's assume you were having a moment of weakness and you clicked on the ad and it said, "Invest a small amount, $200." Now I know neither of you would fall for that, but let's just assume that you did. So let's say you invested $200 with some of these financial advice. Scammers. Um, let's just say you did invest $200, and then all of a sudden you got a call from a call center saying, "Guess what? Your $200 is now $500." What would you do?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people I mean, we all sit here and look at, we want to make more money. So we always hear about those people that do day trading and investments, and they're making really good money. So I think it is an education piece that if somebody did do that and somebody said, yeah, you're making $500, give me more money. I mean, if you really think about it, we've got smart people in society that fall for that. Look at Murdaugh and how he scammed family members out of that sort of stuff. So I can't say I wouldn't ever fall for it. I would hope that I'm not. I hope that I'm prevalent enough not and aware not to. But I could see how that fast money maker could get people drawn in.
What about you, Galena?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think it's kind of like it's the backbone of my business, right? To educate business owners to not go for those phishing emails, right? And it starts with both with everyone in the office, right? So kind of educating them about that. But so I have my parents are elderly, right? And they're overseas, and literally every time I speak to my mom, it's like she gets so excited because she's like, oh my gosh, I've seen this offer. I've seen this offer. I've seen this offer. I can double my money. I can triple my money. That's where my heart sinks, right? Because I try to educate her and I try to tell her that someone is trying to scam her. And it's so foreign to her. She said, are you telling me that they're gonna grab my money from the computer, from my bank? How does this work? And so it's at some point it actually turned into, I think her computer laptop got so much viruses that it's just crashed, and now we don't have video conference anymore availability, which is, it's sad, but it's great because now it makes me feel easier and a little bit better that she's not on the computer clicking things, thinking that it's legit. Because if it's on a computer, it's got to be legitimate, So.
So for those of you just joining us, Clarence is here from Baltimore. What's going on, my man? Hey, I thought you said you wanted to talk to me about something, man. Give me a call. You got my number? Leslie is here. Leslie, didn't I just see you? I just did a training for a group, 8 hours worth, and Leslie was kind enough to put up with me for 8 solid hours. She was kind enough to put up with me for 8 solid hours. And Bonita is here. What's going on, B? And my man Sam, you sent me an email. I saw it. Just been real busy. We need to get on a call anyway, man. Been a long time. So yeah, we'll make it happen. My man Sam Khan is here. So for those of you just joining, the question I just asked Christine and Galena, if you saw an ad, I mean, it was shiny, nice and new, and it said invest $200, would you do it? And if they guaranteed to almost double your money, would you do it? Now, they, of course, said no because they're very smart individuals. So then I said, okay, hypothetically, what if you just did it? What if you threw caution to the wind and you invested that 200 and they returned 500 to you? And then they called up and said, we need more money so we can make you more money. What would you do? Everybody listening, what would you do? Heck no, I'm with you. Heck no. Now, Christine and Galena, they said they wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Would you all do that? Would you fall for that? I would hope not. So that brings us to today's story. Whew. So there's a fraud scheme that allegedly ran between 2019 and 2021. And what they did was they ran nice ads on the various social media platforms, luring people in, getting low amounts of money from them, and then showing them graphs of how much money they'd earned, which was, double the initial investment or more. Then they asked for more money, and they kept asking for more money and more money until finally they didn't return any of the funds to the victims. Now, the interesting thing about this one is they actually employed, well, first of all, it ran in several countries, and they employed individuals in a call center. Now, the individuals in the call center weren't necessarily aware of the scam, but their job was to upsell these people on various investment products. And just in case you're wondering, the countries involved Whew, tons of countries. Germany, Bulgaria, Romania, Georgia, the country, not the state, okay, and Israel. So the people were located in those different countries, and they ran the scheme between 2019 and 2021. Now, what do you guys think about this so far, Galena, Christine? What do you think?
I mean, I know how much money it was.
We'll get there.
I'm wondering why it took so long. Why
Ooh.
did this have to go over years? But I also understand due process and
Yeah.
it did
So
go
I
across
think
agencies. So
right. To your point, the second story, I think there's a little bit of follow up to that. So in 2021, authorities sort of figured out this organized ring, and then they got additional tips. And so that's what led them to this further investigation, which, sort of took place in April of March 2023. So there was just organized work. But I think the first, from 2019 to 2021, they recovered, or they said that they embezzled or took $15 million. And so, but the subsequent investigation after that took 2 years to got to that amount.
Yeah. So the total amount that they're saying is $98 million taken from over 33,000 victims in various countries. As a matter of fact, the government investigative units in other countries kind of pooled together. So Europol, which is officially the European Union Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation, they were involved in several other agencies from other countries. Can you imagine 33,000 victims?
Yeah, so it appears to be on average just under 3,000, 3,000, whatever the currency is per victim. So
yeah, so they really mastered the art of getting small amounts from people, and they scaled the business because, again, they had a call center in Romania. And from what they can tell so far, the people in the call center did not know that it was a scam. They gave them written scripts, which is not unusual. Most call centers have scripts of what you should say. They gave them written scripts of what to say and how to entice the people into investing in the financial services products.
And I mean, I guess not to be presumptuous, I guess I got to kind of get out of my world, because it is one of those things, like you said, Galena, it's more than just one person. It's not like it was just the FBI. We're looking at, I mean, the span of Europe is the United States. So they had to work when they're looking at, 15 different locations over how many different countries to work together.
absolutely.
So I totally agree with you. And I know I was telling Rob before, I mean, that's a lot for a little. The US has their problems too. What was it? 8.8 billion in fraud, of which 3.8 billion was investment fraud just in 2022 in the US.
Wow.
Galena's mind is blown. Imagine that. Yeah.
And that was only how many? What was it? 2.4 million fraud reports. Think about what fraud has been lost, whether it's here, over in Europe, that isn't reported.
Right. Wait, what was that number again? The total dollar amount in the US in 2022?
So 2022 total fraud was 8.8 billion. 3.8 billion was just investment, and investment fraud is labeled as number 4.
Well, and think about that. That's about what, 40%? A little bit more than 40, almost 50% of the total frauds reported were investment fraud.
And I think it's because the number of people that fall for investment is lower, but the amount they fall for is higher. Like you said, oh, we made you 500. Give us more. Give us more.
Wait a second. Is FTX a little bit of portion of that?
The federal. I don't know. I mean, the FCC like really divides that stuff. I mean, now they're going, I mean, the FBI just released something regarding the pig butchering for cryptocurrency fraud that's starting to come out. So they're going to start breaking that stuff out. But I mean, 3.8 billion in 2022. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could fall for a scam. I hope not.
I would hope not. So now they actually raided a few homes. They raided 8 houses. 5 were in Bulgaria, 1 was in Cyprus, and 2 were in the Ukraine. 17 individuals were questioned in Bulgaria. One of the highest value targets arrested was in Cyprus, and what they got was cell phones, electronic equipment, bank accounts, and data backups.
Yeah.
So the question I have, what are some things that we can do or say for people who are seeing those no risk, high reward advertisements online? What would you say to somebody who is seeing those and thinking about it? Because it's a hard time right now for most people, right?
If it's too good to be true, it is.
Education, right? I mean, it just starts going back to the basics. I've done a presentation to elders in my church, and it was really just, lunch and learn situation. But we touched upon those scams a little bit, not necessarily that one, but we touched upon those scams, and a lot of them started out saying, oh, we know. And then by the end, they were like, can you please check my phone? Can you please check that everything is okay? Can you please? And so, when we come out, because I consider us in this group and everyone listening, we are also educators. We're not just internal auditors. We're not just someone who's going to come in and says, you may be doing this wrong. I mean, Robert, you always pointing that out in your posts, right? As internal auditors, it's very important to have the soft skills. And so for us to come out and educate, right? And every stakeholder that is willing to listen and to have ears and say, okay, well, this is what can happen. This is what we have seen happen. And coming from the personal perspective, like I shared with you guys about my elderly, about my mom, right? That hits sort of close to home, and that drives the message a little bit better.
So why do you think the elderly fall for these scams more than, say, younger generations?
Well, because kids won't move out. I mean, geez. I mean, you're thinking, here you are, in your retirement, and when you're 20, 30-year-old is still, I'm joking.
Now, this is going to be a clip because that was hilarious. That was.
They need to stay living at home so they can help mom and dad prevent from getting scammed and ruining their whole entire inheritance.
Right.
I guess I just think it's the technology savvy. I mean, was it last Friday or one of your other podcasts, Rob? You actually it was an AI bot doing the introduction and stuff like that. And we've got deepfake. And I mean, things are getting so good in these ads and advertisements that, I mean, it's eventually going to happen. I mean, somebody's going to fall for it, and you've got your hopes and your dreams, and sometimes that can cloud your judgment.
But con men have always been around, and you get this tingly feeling in your chest that tells you something is wrong. So I'm just wondering, just a theory. I'm just trying to figure out why the elderly fall for them more. Now, I haven't seen any stats broken down by age of victims, but we do know that oftentimes it does happen to the elderly more. But yeah, to Galena's point, maybe they're retired and still have some expenses that they didn't anticipate. Mm-hmm. Hey, that was a nice way of saying it. They didn't. They have some expenses that they didn't anticipate. But I would think, technology aside, It's really the same tricks, right? You get people to have confidence in you by saying something that we know is far-fetched, but it's still selling them a dream. So my guess is they're able to tap into the emotional side of it. Because I've heard instances where they call old people and say, "Hey, it's me, your grandson." And they'll know the grandson's name or the granddaughter's name. And they'll say, "I'm in trouble. I'm in jail. Can you wire me some money?"
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And remember that this scam is especially deceiving because of the lower amount, right? It starts out at a lower amount, considering, right? Lower amount. And then they do turn around pretty fairly quickly and give them whatever they promised, right? Because the first time they do give back. And so I know, again, I hate to put my mom out here in this podcast, but this speaks to her to a T. This scam speaks to her to a T. And so her perception is that everyone is good. She does have that idea that everyone is good, and there's no one out there that is looking to scam, for the very, there's certain ranks, but of people, but these people are not one of them, right? So if they're selling me something, that means that it's going to be good and it's going to be legitimate. So maybe it's just, again, the way the older generation is, they're not as jaded as we are. I don't know. you know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too that they did to make the scheme more legitimate. They had several websites that looked legitimate but were also fake.
Mhm.
So you had this advertisement on the internet, you clicked on it, you were then taken to a website which probably took your money, and functioned like a regular investment website. Probably looked really good because you could get somebody to design you a good looking site for about $50.
Mhm.
Um, and then they said, "Hey, your investment yielded X amount of returns. Here's your graph showing how much you've made. Give us more money." So I guess even if you had done your due diligence and gone to the website, made sure it was functioning, you still could have been tricked. So what could you do further? Could you check for a business license maybe, or look for officers of the company? But you know, it's my understanding they had over 200 websites.
Oh,
Well, and Rob, does it also work out? So reading the article, they did talk about it being a lot of it, or the pretended financial services was the binary options for their investments, which is
Yep.
usually you either make money, you're in the money, or you're out of the money.
Right.
So is that another driver that, oh, $200 if I'm out, I'm out, but now I doubled my money. So maybe if I just put in an extra 300, what's the worst thing is that I'm breaking even.
But here's
Well,
the thing.
constant buy-in.
Here's the thing. They were fake options.
Correct.
So my guess is the victims didn't know that they were investing in quote unquote options. They just said,
Mhm.
"Hey, we're investing for you, and we're going to make you more money." And which is another good point though. You should know what they're investing in. Are you investing in low risk CDs? Are you investing in the stock market, mutual funds, money market? What is the investment going towards? Because I imagine if they had told some of them that they were investing in options, those who know what an option is and how risky it is may have said, "No, thank you."
Correct.
But yeah, they were fake options. So everything was fake. The website, the phone calls, the investments. I mean, at least with Madoff, some of the investments were real. The statements were just fake.
right. Yeah. No, that's a tough one. And, to me, when you were talking about it, I'm just picturing it's almost like you're at the casino, right? And you're clicking on that banner and this, ta-da, 3 sevens came out. Oh, great. Okay, let's do this again, So it's almost like
Yeah. Well, and
that
I think
game.
in the US too, there are laws regarding how your investment advertisements should look. You
Mhm.
can go to, oh goodness, I've forgotten the name of which agency governs that now, but they have examples on their website. This is what a legal investment advertisement looks like. Here's what a bad one looks like. And they will fine you if you break the law. I mean, obviously, But yeah, these are quite interesting. All right, so everyone, thank you for joining us on episode number 102 of the Friday Fraudster. They promised to make you rich, and they took your money. So, anything else we want to say, Galena? What do you have going on? Anything going on that we need to know about?
Oh, yeah. So doing pitching in for SOX compliance testing, started offering new services, flat hourly fee, experienced consultants, no sales pitches except for here with Robert Berry and Christina Murray. So that's really, really exciting. And a lot more people are asking for the cybersecurity um, assessments. So that's
Yeah.
really exciting. And it's
Now,
Friday, so
when you say experienced consultants to do Sarbanes-Oxley, how many years of experience do they average?
8+.
8+ years of experience.
Yes.
So these guys can,
Yes.
and girls, men and women,
Yes.
can come in and just hit the ground running for your SOX effort. So here's what that means. If you are a small, medium size, or even a large organization that needs some Sarbanes-Oxley support, you need to call Galena. I mean,
Thank you.
there's nothing more to say than
Thank
that.
you.
Christine, what do you have going on?
My husband and I are going to go buy siding this weekend. I mean, I don't get to do what Galena is or even what you do, Rob. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I love the stuff that you guys do for work every day. I'm just an internal auditor, which I am completely satisfied with. I do really enjoy the environment. I just want to say thank you for letting me sit in on your podcast and being able to meet you and Galena technically in real life. I mean,
Anytime. Here's what I want to say. If there's anybody else who's listening who wants to be a guest, because Joe and Kelly, you know, they get real busy, let me know, because to me, it's fun for us to meet one another. And I think this is our form of networking. You know, it's our form of networking. Now, here's what I want to say. Do you know Monday is the beginning of Internal Audit Awareness Month? Did everyone forget about that? May is Internal Audit Awareness Month. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to start posting some interesting things for Internal Audit Awareness Month. Some interesting things. We'll just leave it at that. But one thing I noticed is a lot of audit shops, audit departments have an interesting time trying to market their audit function, which is why I have my new course. We're offering it. It's a 2-hour course, Marketing Your Audit Function. You see that name? It kind of fits, right? Marketing Your Audit Function.
Yeah.
I will drop the link to that course in the chat. I just dropped it in the wrong chat. I'll drop a link to that course in the chat. You should check it out. It's 2 hours where we talk about things that you can do to market your internal auditing department. And be on the lookout starting next week for some interesting things. Hey, Stephanie is here. She says that they are doing 1.5 acres of fencing this weekend. Oh, man.
Ooh.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
When you say we,
strong shoulders for the summer.
Right. When you say we, I'm hoping you mean the people that you hired. That's what I'm hoping.
Not envious. Not envious.
I'm really hoping you mean the people that you hired. But Sarbanes-Oxley work, call Galena. Any type of audit training, especially if you want to talk about how to market your audit function, call me up. Audit chapters, companies, you've got 40 hours that your people need in CPE. Why not bring in someone to give them most, if not all, of that? Ooh, she said her husband and her are doing it. Really? Oh man, good luck. You guys got kids you can put to work? I mean,
I was also going to say, Robert, I know I'm studying for my CIA. Wish me luck this month. I'm part 3. I feel like IIA also, if that's something you're looking for, usually runs 50% off discounts through the month. So you can do huge savings on that. I mean, I've spent more than
my courses are better than theirs.
No, I'm just, if you're going to do it.
I'm joking.
Now I have to sign up for yours.
But no, in all seriousness, May is Internal Audit Awareness Month. You're going to see deals from everybody. I'll probably put my best-selling book on sale during the month, possibly on my favorite day during the month of May, which is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, Rob.
Christine's like, what have I gotten myself into? What have I gotten myself
Well,
into?
no, you say that, and then the Justin Timberlake meme comes into my head of in a couple more days, it's going to be May.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen that because my kids show it to me all the time.
Yes. In a couple more days, it is going to be May. So, hey, Bob is here. Bob, I didn't know you were here, man. You were so quiet today. Bob says, best of luck to you with part 3, Christine.
I need it. I'll be blunt. I've failed it twice. I was short 5 points this last time, but I should have done it earlier. I've got kids that are older in sports and everything else, and it's my fault, but I got it this time. I know I'm doing well. So
you got it.
And I'm getting part 3 out of the way first, and then part 1 and 2. So, and I heard that's part 1 and 2 is easier comparable to part 3.
And so
Robert, I've got to get out.
All right, see you, Galena. We're about to end in a second too. So, oh man, Bob and Alaba just snuck in. Man, this was a good story this week, you guys. We've covered the story. Now we're just having fun with you all. By the way, Alaba, Christine is going to take part 3 of the CIA exam soon. So we expect to hear the good news when she passes. For those of you who don't know, if you need CIA training, if you need training, darn it, what am I trying to say? A review course. Sorry, Alaba, I'm messing this up, man. I'm trying to plug you and I'm just screwing it up. If you need someone to lead a review course for your CIA certification, my man right here, Alaba, is the guy you need to call. Alaba, drop your link in the chat, man, so people know how to reach you. Drop your link.
You mean like me? Somebody who's failed it twice? I probably should get with him. Those tests aren't cheap.
Yeah, well, he could definitely help out. He could definitely help out. He is the man, and he could definitely help out. So anyway, with that said, thank you for joining us. On episode 102 of the Friday Fraudster, they promised to make you rich, and then they stole all your money. We'll see you all next week.